Hi, my name is Beth Wirchansky. In 2009, I received a master's in biology from Rutgers-Camden. I currently work at the Fox Chase Cancer Center's Institute for Personalized Medicine. So the Institute for Personalized Medicine is an initiative at Fox Chase to change the one-size-fits-all approach to cancer therapy. Ultimately, the goal is for each patient to have their genetic sequence determined, and then treatment will be based on a person's unique individual genetic fingerprint. As a technical specialist at the Institute for Personalized Medicine, my role is to process all of the samples that we're given and sequence all of the DNA. So we start from blood and tissue samples, and then we prepare them for sequencing, and then actually put them into the machine and sequence the DNA so that the data can then be analyzed by our bioinformatics core. Really, this approach revolutionizes not just cancer therapeutics, but medicine. So instead of assuming that all people will respond equally to the same treatment, by being able to look at a person's unique genetics, you can tailor treatment to them specifically. You take slides of frozen cancer tissue, and then you use a laser to blast the cancer cells off, and then you collect those cancer cells, and then you can purify DNA from there and do your sequencing. So I have my undergraduate degree in wildlife conservation, and I wanted to go back and get a master's degree, and I met with Dr. Shane, and he explained to me that a woman, Carol Ott, in Alloway had found a giant leech in her backyard, and she was very interested in it. And it turns out, after taking the leech to the Smithsonian Institute, that it's a previously undescribed species, which is remarkable considering that it is a terrestrial leech and extremely large. So my graduate research involved going out into the field, collecting more of these leeches, then taking them back to the lab, doing dissections, and then sequencing their DNA to get a genetic profile of these leeches in comparison to other terrestrial leeches and aquatic leeches that are found in North America. And then we analyzed that data and created a phylogenetic tree so we can trace the evolution of terrestrialism in leeches throughout North America and their migration patterns over geologic time. So these leeches are not what you would typically expect from a leech. They are not sanguivorous, which means they do not drink blood. These leeches eat earthworms. So they're perfectly safe to have crawling all around you. They only open their mouths in response to food stimuli, which would be a worm. In order to do this work, you need to have competence in a lab and understand basic biological principles. And my research at Rutgers has certainly prepared me for that. The statistical analysis that was used to create these trees to trace where the leeches came from is the same analysis that's used in cancer research. So they look at the primary tumor and then metastases, and one of the ways you can approach that is looking at it as if it were an organism that then speciates. So it's the same algorithm, the same statistics that are used. So that's actually directly applicable to my work here. Dr. Shane himself was very encouraging. He would very gently guide me towards the right answer. He wasn't someone who would just tell you what to do. He made me think. He made me come up with a plan. That's a Dan Shane phrase is, so what's the plan? And as long as you have a plan, then you can move forward. And I think that's a good way to approach any sort of scientific problem.